Today we're letting go of perfection, so grab your brushes, drop your expectations and let's have some fun with the paint. If you are new to watercolour, don't worry, I've got you covered. You can download my free cheat sheet to help guide you along the way. I'll link it in my description below. Today is not about the result, it's about the process. So let's have some fun.
Crafts, it's Chloe's crafts. It's Chloe's crafts. It's Chloe's crafts.
Hello everyone, today we're going to do an exercise that is going to help us overcome that perfectionism. I've chosen I as a subject just because I just find them fun to paint, fun to draw. So I thought we would go with an I. This is the reference, this is just me. So let's get started. I'll run you through. I'm using a few different variants of turquoise and pink and magenta, also followed with some violet, and then I am using my pans as well, which is going to be for the skin tone. I'll link them in the description below if you're interested. I'm also using Langton watercolour paper. It was A3 but I've chopped it down so it's a bit of a random size. That's because it's a little bit easier to paint when things are smaller, and if you start small you can gradually grow to big. I've got some sea salt as well. Whether I use that or not I do not know, but I thought I like to have it handy regardless. This is just a very rough sketch. It is just a guideline. We're not going to go into details at all today. That's not something that this exercise is about. If you do have that sort of hesitation when you are looking at a blank canvas, good tip for you is just wet your brush, pick out one of your favourite colours, and I think mine is, I want to say it's a Scheming Violet, but that is pretty much black. So I'm going to use, what shall I use? I'm going to go Magenta. What I like to do is give my paper a bit of a spritz. This gives like an uneven sort of water distribution, so it's more unpredictable. Just get your paint loaded up with your favourite colour, just splat. So now that the paint has fallen, we can't control where it has fallen, which makes it that more fun. If you want, you can always wait till this dries, or you can just continue. I think what I'm going to do is start with the skin first. Obviously I've got that bright magenta down. I'm just having a look at my reference. For the skin I have mixed up, basically it's a red, yellow and a burnt sienna. I will link it down below though, but I can't really pick out my colours without getting my hands absolutely messied up. So I'm going to go with the skin and I'm going to start wet on wet. Obviously this is going to smear the magenta, but that's absolutely fine. I don't mind about that because we're not after perfection, just after fun. So I will be doing wet on wet. Oh, look at that, that's so beautiful. You'll hear me throughout the video being like, oh, that looks so nice. Unfortunately though, you'll find something that's really nice and then you end up painting over it. Oh, it didn't work there. So this skin's obviously going to be very pink. Right, I'm going to start with this colour. You can either wait for this to dry or not, it's up to you. I'm going to see how it goes wet on wet. If it looks rubbish, I'm going to see how it goes. You can either let it dry or not, it's up to you. I'm going to go wet on wet to see what happens. If I don't like it, I'll let it dry and go over again. This is about just enjoying yourself. So I don't mind that at all. I'm just going to go further up here. You don't even have to use a colour that resembles a skin tone. It's totally up to you. If you want to do it bright blue, that's absolutely down to you. I like to do skin tone though, just because it's good practice, isn't it? Then just bring that down there. I think that's done a really nice colour, really. I'm just going to take this up. I think the rule of thumb is don't use more than 3 colours, especially with skin. I know that I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colours. Oh no, it'll be 5 because I'm not using that. But I have worked with these colours a lot because they're so beautiful, and they tend to just turn into this beautiful purple colour, so it doesn't go a funny muddy colour, which is nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit of shadow. Obviously we're not going for realism, that is not what we're doing, but you can always use these sort of exercises to not emphasize your skills, but build on your skills, that's it. You don't need a reference at all really, but I have to work with references, and I have to do a light sketch as well, because otherwise my brain doesn't function and it doesn't understand where things are going, so I have to have this sort of sketch. I know some, well, I don't know them personally, but I have heard some brilliant watercolour artists that just paint straight onto the paper. They don't need anything, but maybe I'll get there one day, but not right now. I do need that initial sketch first. Oh, yeah. So that is such a nice and light wash that we've done there. I think I might add some blue to the eye, just to the white of the eye. The white is never actually white, is it? I don't know what to. I won't wait. I'll just go for it. I'm a very impatient painter, so it's not always best to have that impatience. Gone purple, which is nice. That's because of the magenta. I'm just going to take some of it up here. Doesn't matter about in the eye itself, because obviously it's such a light wash. You just really want some, you just want to, I don't know, how do you say it? Just suggest some shadow, that's all. I'm just using a blue here with my pan, just plenty of water, that's why it's so light. It might bleed into the skin, but it's fine. Blend that out a bit. I'm quite happy with that. I'm finding it a little bit boring at the minute. So what I think I might do is, I like to work on a board because I like to move around when I paint. I'm just going to add some turquoise or something up there. That's my spritz bottle. We'll just blend it in. Just get some nice turquoise colour up there. Oh, that's what you get from using straight through the tube, from the tube. God, I waste paint, you know. I really do. You could probably get about 6 paintings from that blob alone. Right, so that is bleeding into the eye. If you don't want it to, pop it upside down. I think I might add a bit of purple lake to the top here. But I'm quite happy with that as a first sort of wash. What I'm going to do is hair dry it and then move on. I'm just going to add a little bit more detail with into the skin, just to add a bit more depth. I think I'm just going to go around the eyelid here. I think I do it here, and maybe underneath. See how that goes. Oh, probably should use a different brush. Have you seen this was my favourite brush and I ended up bending it. Then I think underneath I'm gonna go wet on wet. So I think in the reference it's about here. I start getting a bit darker under my eye. Obviously there's going to be a load of magenta in that anyway, but it doesn't matter. I like how the blue is seeped in there, I like that. Then I think what I'm going to add is just a little bit more red to it. This is going to be quite potent, I think, yeah. The thing is with watercolour, it does dry so much lighter. So it's not too bad of a thing really. Probably could have done with a bit more burnt sienna, but we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that because I don't look like I've got conjunctivitis. It's all about having fun, enjoying ourselves and being creative at the same time. Let's see how the purple layer mixes with that colour. Oh, if I can do it. Looks spread quite nicely. Let's just get it around, shall we? I quite like these brush marks, so I might keep them. Should we do something down here? I feel like there needs to be a bit of something down here, sort of to match the top. Ooh, should we add a bit of the Scheming Violet? See how dark it is when it's just concentrated? It's almost black. Can you see that? But you add water to it. I'll show you now. Oh, I've just used one water. Oh well. Add water to it. And I don't want that particularly getting covered in it. So I'm just going to press that. It'll spread out into this beautiful purple. Well, beautiful violet. Okay, so we're going to dry it and see where we can go from there. I think it's too dry now, but it would have been really nice to add some salt there. So, but oh well, it's fine. I've dried it too much now. What we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna define the top of that eye a little bit more. I think I might go in with this colour. Just that eyelid. I think what I might do is go in with a rose pink for the waterline. I might have to sit down for this actually. Make my hand a little bit steadier. I don't know how pink this is going to be. Give it a go. Look at the mess I've made. Right, I think that'll be enough. It's the middle of frame. I will add a bit more to this inner bit of the eye. Probably way too much, but hey ho. Okay, so I think all I'm gonna do now is add a little bit of that darkness to that top of the eye. Purple. Oh, that's gonna be way too dark, but that's some more water. Just want it a little bit more prominent. More prominent. Oh no! Look at that wiggly line, like a snake. Right, so I think I'm happy with that. What I'm going to do is, oops, sorry, I'm putting my chair away. I'm going to let it dry, go change my water, and we'll be back in a minute. Right, so that is pretty dry, pretty much dry. I'm going to get onto the real fun part now, and that is doing the eye. But I've noticed that there's too much turquoise, not enough pink for me up here. So I'm just going to give that a spritz again. Give it just a little spritz. Don't know by now, or can't tell, absolutely love pink. Look at the patterns that it makes, though. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'll just spritz that so that I knew it wouldn't go into my eye, but it can go wherever the water is wet. So, I'm going for a blue eye. And that is because I absolutely love this turquoise. So I'm gonna try to make it a circle. Oh, leave a highlight. I did draw in a highlight. Don't know where that's gone now. But I have also got some gouache as well, totally forgot about that. So I can always add the highlight in the end. So we're going to let that dry there. I'm just going to use my hairdryer. Right, so that is pretty much dry now. At this moment in time, what I'm doing is just having a look at the painting and just taking in what I feel needs to go where. But I think I might do the same to the other side. So I'm going to add some water. I'll dry that. And add that same sort of level of concentration. It'll only go where the water goes unless there's too much water. And what I'll do is blend. It's not a perfect circle there, but we're just going to have to live with that. Try it again. Right, it's not completely dry, but it won't blend, so it should dry in that area. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is add the iris now, and it's just going to be here. The only thing that I don't want to do is make it too big. But what I am going to do, I like that line up here. Make it bleed out anyway, so I don't know why I'm spending so much time. when it's just going to be bleeding down. Do we spray it? I think we should spritz. You could either use water and just let it on your brush, but I think I'm going to let it spritz. Actually, I'm going to add some water here. When I spritz, it will land there. So I'm adding loads of colour in because obviously it's got a way to go. We don't know where it's going to go, but it's got a way to go. So, hold it up at an angle. That, maybe add a bit more. Can you see? There's a lot. And I don't want that top bit going, but I do want this bottom bit going. Make sure I've got a good spritz on it. That's what I wanted. There we go. I do like that. Can you see from that angle? Probably not the best angle, is it? And that will give it a bit of a taparoo. If it's really not moving, you can just give it another spritz and it'll just glide down to where it needs to be. I do like that. If you can see, you can sort of see the turquoise and the purple really mixing in well together. Oh, I like that. Oh, I do. Right. Right, guys, so we are pretty much dry. Not too that dry down here, but pretty much dry. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go in with a, well, I'm going to go in with a bit of pink. You can do whatever you wish. I want to preserve this bit here. Whether I do or not, I don't know. But I'm just going to wet the whole thing. I'll use my bigger brush for this. I do like this colour though. I'm going to try and preserve some of these highlights. Try my hardest. Eyes do have really interesting lines in them, and I don't want to sort of leave that out, so I'm just going to add some more up here, more turquoise. I think I'm going to leave it to dry. Oh, but I quite like this. No, I'm not gonna leave it to dry. I'm gonna go in with, how do I go with Screaming Violet? I'm gonna go in with Screaming Violet. Oh dear. Remember guys, we're really not aiming for perfection here. Have as much fun as I do doing this. Honestly guys, just have a play around with it. And obviously we still want that sort of dripping down effect, don't we? Well, it's up to you. I do. I want this dripping down effect. So what I'll do is leave that to dry, and then we'll add some more and we'll let it drip down. While I'm doing that, I think I might add a little bit more detail to the actual eyelid. For me, I was more obsessed with perfection because I was so scared of being judged. And when you put yourself out there, you are putting yourself out to be judged. Whether you like it or not, someone's going to judge you somewhere. But it's about just doing it anyway. Do I add more detail or do I leave it at that? I'll look at my reference. Have a little look. Well, you can't really see all anyway, so there's no point looking at that. Oh, I'm torn. Do I add more detail or do I leave it? You'll have to let me know in the comments what I should have done. What should I have left? Should I have left it, or should I have had, oh, I can't speak. Let me know in the comments what you would have done at this point. Would you have left it, or would you add more detail? I think I'm gonna go add more detail. I'm just really enjoying it right now, so I think that's almost dry. I think I want to add another, oh dear. I think I need to add another bit of a spritz here. I like that. I think I'm gonna leave it. I think that is, maybe add a little bit of turquoise. Looks crazy, doesn't it? So it looks so weird and strange, but has like an appealing quality to it. Last thing I'm gonna do is add the eyelashes. I absolutely hate doing eyelashes with a passion. It doesn't matter what, oh, wrong colour. It doesn't matter what I do with eyelashes. I can't do them. They always look terrible. The amount that you learn from doing exercises like this, I think it beats any sort of sitting and drawing the same thing over and over again, especially with watercolour, because it's about learning and experimenting and, you know, enjoying what the colours are actually capable of doing. And they're capable of doing a lot more than you think. Right, I'm gonna let that dry. Right, so for the final touches, they are going to be the eyelashes. I'm gonna attempt eyelashes. It doesn't matter how much practice I've had with eyelashes, they always end up not the way I want them to, but I've got used to that now. Right guys, I think actually I might try just see how this works. Might not work. Oh, falling over. Just glazing it with a bit of yellow. Let's see how that works. Let's see what happens. This bit here, just try and bring it all together, but it might not work. Oh, that was a dog trying to get in. I won't be a minute. Right, I'm gonna try and glaze over this with a bit of yellow. See what happens. What happens? Oh, green. That's what happens. Of course it is. Right guys, I think we are done. Obviously you would wait for this to dry. Before I'm peeling it, I've really enjoyed it. Oh, no, don't put it there. I've enjoyed the whole process of it. Right guys, I'm going to consider that done. I hope you have enjoyed the video and I hope it's given you the confidence to paint without feeling the need of being perfect. If you like this video, give us a like, comment what you're going to be painting next, and give me a subscribe. Thank you.
It's crafts. We have a laugh. It's crafts. Take it back. It's crafts.